All right, so I'm going to try this for the 55th time. Hold on. There's one more thing I forgot to do. Share my screen the last time. Did such an amazing presentation on the last one, and there was nothing on the screen.
Oh.
It's always something. Always something. Yes, every time. So I just have a feeling that this last group is going to be totally amazing, even though half of them are on their phones. But that's okay. We're gonna get off these phones. All right, all right, all right. So guys, so thank you guys for coming to senior year prep. So again, if you just got here, there are two clipboards going around. They say the exact same thing. Your name should be on the clipboard because you had a pass to be here. We're going to have 6 more meetings with some information, and I want to make sure that I pull you guys from class during the best period. Okay? Can you do me a favor? Can you close the door but like leave it cracked for me? Thank you. So I want to make sure I pull you guys. So put the period that's the best period, the name of that teacher, and then the next one, the second best time to pull you in the name of that teacher. Because if all of y'all put first period, obviously everybody can't be here first period. So I'll pick your second one. In most cases, once people see that you guys have been here, they're going to start signing up. And we're probably going to end up having to go upstairs to the audience because this is getting a little thick in here, right? Okay. So I'm quickly going to go over some information that you guys need to know to get ready for senior year. I know you are tired of being here now, right? No? I am. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of over this year already just because, it's COVID. But you guys have been doing a great year getting through. And so I want to give you guys as much information as I can to get you ready for next year. Next year, when you come in, you're going to act like I never told you any of this stuff because that's what the last 2 classes did. But as soon as the year starts moving, you'll start to remember some things, right? So I like to make sure because most of the students in our school are first generation college students, right? Or your parents may have gone to college, but that was like forever ago. And so I can use myself as an example. My daughter probably is about 26 now. When I went to college, we filled out 1, maybe 2 applications. You did an application, a transcript, an essay, and that was it. And it was all paper. Ugh, right? Now you guys have like a gazillion things and hoops to jump through to do 1 application. And we're encouraging you to do quite a few. But before I start, all of you guys have different things that you're going to be doing once you graduate. Everyone has different plans. Some of you will be working right after school. Okay. Some of you may have a connection through tech school or someone else where you already have a job that will be lined up. Some of you guys have family businesses that you already know that you're going to be working in and you're working now, right? Some of you may be thinking about taking a gap year, which nobody ever takes it right around here. Traditionally, a gap year is supposed to mean you're supposed to go travel somewhere or do some volunteer work and kind of remove yourself from the scene, do something that's very productive and intentional to kind of get your mind set for what you want to do in the future. Most of what we do when we take a gap year, that just means we're not going to school for a year and we're working, right? So some of you may be planning on taking that year off, going to school later. You kind of want to be careful with that because a lot of times when people take a year off, what do you think happens? What do you think's gonna happen? What happens? Who plays sports here? What happens on the off season?
I mean, if you miss the off season, I mean that means you miss out on all the stuff that happens potentially.
Like when the season is over, y'all kind of relax a little bit. Yeah. Coach gives you some drills and things that you're supposed to be doing. Sometimes people do them, sometimes they don't. And so then some people wait until a couple of weeks before pre-training is supposed to happen and your body is hurting and all that kind of stuff. So when you take that time off, sometimes people never make it back to school for a whole bunch of different reasons, right? So you want to be careful about that. Some of you guys may be thinking about going to a trade or a technical school, either because you've been at tech and you want to continue what you're doing, or you didn't go to tech and you want to learn a trade or a skill that you're going to get certification for. Some of you guys are going to a 2-year community college to get what's called an associate's degree. Okay. And then some of you guys are going to get a 4-year degree called a bachelor's degree. So everyone in here is doing something different. So what I want to say is that if you do not go to a 4-year college, that does not mean that you are not going to make it anywhere in life. People tell you that, and that is not true. What is important is whatever your skill set is and how much education you add to that, that's going to determine where you go. So let me give you an example. Some of you guys know people who do uh, beats or video, right? Or bake or fix computers and things like that. Do you ask them if they have a degree? I don't think so. And some people are really good at what they do. I don't care if you don't have a degree and you take wedding pictures for me and they look absolutely amazing, right? And so you want to make sure at least after high school you get some additional education. All right. All right. So let me keep moving because I forgot the bus is coming soon. All right. So for the College and Career Center, we have a website. So everything that I talked to you guys about today, every link that I give you, I set up a page on my website. So when you got your email, you got a reminder email from me this morning that said, hey, don't forget to come. At the bottom of that email, there's a link, and that link is going to be there. All right. So this is the College and Career Center website. Excuse my COVID hair. All right. And my big forehead. So this is some information that all of the grown people like to see. This is going to bore you to death, but this is all the stuff that we do back here in the College and Career Center. Okay. Then the next tab has information about colleges that accept our students. So most of these colleges, and this is the top 10 from last year, most of these colleges are colleges that accepted our students last year, and some are some earlier years. Okay. So you'll see those things here. Okay. Then there's information about the counseling office, and it has the pictures and designations for all of your counselors and their email addresses. And so we have our new counselor, Mr. McBride, that just came last Monday. So we're going to slide his picture into this Eagle spot. And then we have Miss Snaith and Miss Wolfenson, who are the 9th grade counselors, and Miss Cedric, who's the counselor at Roosevelt. Then also on here is a document that nobody ever talks about, and it's called the school profile. This is probably one of the most important items that you guys want to look at that you didn't know you needed to look at. And so, in short, the school profile has some basic information about our school, where we're located, what is the diversity makeup of our school? Are we in a city, a town, in a rural area? Do we get free reduced lunch? How many students go here? How many freshmen, sophomores, seniors, juniors go to our school? What is our graduation rate? What kind of activities, special programs? But the main thing that the colleges will be looking at is the graduation rate. How many students attend 4-year colleges, 2-year colleges, technical school, armed forces, and military employment? Forgot to tell you that too. Some of you guys are thinking about going into the military. So we have a lot of recruiters that come and visit us here at the school. And some of you may be thinking about going into the National Guard, which means you'll do some training for about 6 months and you'll come back and you can get money for college and go to college the next school year. All right. So just think about that too. But colleges will be looking at the school profile to look to see how many AP classes or advanced placement classes and honors classes we offer here at the school. So you see here, we offer at least 40, 50 honors and AP classes. They're going to look at our school profile and then look at your transcript to see how many of these classes that you have taken. Now, of course, you can't take all of them, right? But if you're getting straight A's and B's on your grades and you're in regular classes, they're going to want to know why you haven't been taking any honors or AP, maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe 6. They're going to look at consistency on your transcript, meaning if you've been taking 4 to 6 honors AP classes in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, they're going to expect the same thing. So we'll talk about that in another class. So you guys don't have to worry about competing against each other or taking spots from anybody. It's not about that. And it's not about, oh my gosh, I'm not going to, somebody from Lower Marion or this other school is going to get accepted and I'm not because I go to Norristown. They're judging you by what information, what classes you have access here at the school. Okay. Now, the next button is the link that I sent you in the email is the senior year prep. So the meeting notes from today are on that page. And then, of course, you can click through all these other tabs to get to the other ones that I showed you. Okay. So if you are on Instagram and you're not following me, I don't know why, but here is my handle on Instagram. You have the website link here, and then the Schoology page. Do all of you guys get Schoology updates from me? So if you have not, it probably means that I invited you, but I forgot to check off the thing that does a confirmation. So check your Schoology account, see if you have a pending invitation. And if not, just go ahead and just put the code in there, because that's how I'm going to communicate with you guys, because I know you don't read your email and I know you don't listen to the announcements, as fabulous as they are, right? On the Instagram, you're on Schoology, and you'll go to my website if you remember. Okay. Now, we'll also talk about the SAT. So there's information about the SAT that you may need from the discussion that we're having. Those links are here. And then down here at the bottom, the dates of our meetings. We'll talk about that, blah, blah, blah. All right. Also, there's some how-to videos in here. How to create a college list, how to sign up for a virtual college fair. These are some things that we'll talk about later. You'll get some emails from me. These are very short. Some of them are 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The Common App and this student Naviance video are longer because it kind of gives you a insight of how to use Naviance, but the other ones are very short. Then this is a sneak peek. Your counselors will be meeting with you at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year to give you information about the Norristown process and how we do college stuff. Is right here. So you can look through here at your leisure. Every link and everything that you need is right here in one spot. Okay. All right. Any questions? I know I said stuff very quickly. Any questions? All right. Y'all doing good for the end of the day. Okay. Now, you want to think about registering for the SAT or the ACT. So what have you guys heard about the SAT, ACT? No wrong answer. What are your thoughts? What have you heard? What do you think about it? What is it?
There's science on the ACT.
There's science on the ACT? Absolutely. Anybody else?
Also an essay, but I know the ACT is optional.
Yep. Did you look at my notes today? You did? Oh, how'd you do that?
Well, not the ones that you sent today, but the ones that you sent me before about registering.
Oh, that's right. I should read my email. So yes, the essay on the ACT is optional. They got rid of the SAT essay, and there's also something called the SAT subject test that has now been eliminated. Okay, so I sent you guys an article in your email maybe about a week or two ago, but also the link that I just showed you. There's an article in there that tells you the difference between the SAT and the ACT. And you've all heard about test optional, right? Everybody's talking about that. Well, Miss Mitchell, I don't need to take the test because this school is test optional. You still need to take it. And I'm going to tell you why. You just need to take the test, but now you can take the test without the stress, right? How many of you guys are not good test takers? Raise your hand. I'm going to raise both of mine. I hate taking tests. I'm the person that will put the right answer down, erase it, and put something else. That's me. Or I'll drift off and start thinking about, where should I go to lunch after this test today? Should I go to Wawa? Should I go to Chick-fil-A? Should I go to the Chick-fil-A in Audubon or should I go to the Chick-fil-A in East Norton? Which one got the longer line, by the way? Who has the longest line? King of Prussia? Has the longest line, even with the new setup?
No, that one. Those are the East Norton. East Norton has the longest line. Audubon's shorter. It's only one.
Okay. All right, we'll see. But my mind drifts. But at any rate, you need to take one of them. So in the link that I gave you, you can take a practice test. So you can sign up for the Princeton Review practice test. You know, you got to put your email and stuff in there for them to give it to you. And then make sure after you get the practice test, go ahead and unsubscribe because you know they're going to blow your email up. Get the practice test, take them, see which one you feel the most comfortable with, and then take that test. Okay? The reason why we want you guys to take the test is because some of the colleges that are test optional, there may be specific majors that they still want you to have a test score. And they're going to be something that's really specialized like nursing or some type of engineering or architecture or some kind of pre-med or something like that, right? Some of the schools that don't require test scores for your, also some of them you can get into the school without the test score, but then they still want the test score to give you what's called merit scholarships. So merit scholarships are based off of your grades, test scores, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then lastly, there are some schools that don't require the scores for you to get into the school or to get the merit scholarship. But if you have a test score that's pretty good, you'll get more money. You see what I'm saying? So still take the test anyway. Okay. All right. Now tomorrow, and here's a difference between the SAT and the ACT, but again, I sent this information to you guys in your email, and plus one of these is a little bit outdated. All right, tomorrow we will be having an ACT SAT Application Blitz, which means period 1, 2, and 4. You can come down here and get registered for the test. Even if you're taking the test in June, you can go ahead and sign up for the test now, especially if you want to take the test in May. That fills up very quickly. You want to go ahead and check that out. Rule of thumb, if you are currently taking Algebra 1 or Geometry, wait until May or June to take the test so that you can get some more under your belt. Even if you're taking pre-calculus, wait until the end, because there is like some, what did it say on this thing? Some data, trigonometry, geometry, and data analysis on that particular test, okay? Also, you don't want to take the test back to back, meaning if you take the test in May, don't take it in June, because you don't have enough time to get your results back to really see where your strengths and weaknesses are. And what the data suggests is that when you take those tests back to back, in most cases, you get the same score. And I even tested out that theory, and I've looked at people's scores who have taken them back to back, and their scores were pretty much exactly the same. They may have gained 10 points, maybe. Okay. So make sure you space them out. You should take the test twice. You guys are going to get fee waivers to take the test. It means that the test is free. So you can get 2 for the SAT and 4 for the ACT. Okay. So if you want one before you leave today, if you're not able to come to the Blitz tomorrow, you want to do it on your own, because I did send you the directions, I'll give you that today. If you think you're going to lose it, then I'll give it to you when you come tomorrow. Okay. So on the email that I sent you, the link for you to sign up is in there, or you guys have these QR codes on your table. There's a web link on here, and the ACT SAT registration is on there. Okay, you can have a seat anywhere. All right, any questions so far? All right. I also like to give you guys every year this Step Up to College booklet. It's my favorite thing to give away. No, I didn't write it. No, I didn't buy them. I just like to give these out because these are really good books. It has a lot of great information in it. It's information in here about college list, checklist, how to figure out how much you have to pay on a bill for college, how to organize an essay, how to get ready for the SAT, how to do a campus visit, all kinds of stuff. And so there's a digital link. So again, the link that I sent you, this is on there as well. So when you go on here, the booklet is right here. You just click on the booklet. You open it up. It's digital. You can click anywhere that you want. If you're that person that needs something in your hand and you're visual, there are books right up on that cart there. So you are the last group. So if everybody wants to take one, you can. If not, if you're going to throw it in the trash, and leave it here. Okay. But you can take one of those. Also, when you scroll down on this particular link, some of the pages in that workbook are things that you can fill in. It's worksheets in there. So when you click on here, you can actually write in here if that's something that you want to do, as opposed to, printing it out and writing it out and burning up some paper. And then lastly, they're also going to send out a summer edition of this booklet. Okay. The thing that I like best about this booklet are the timelines in the back. So from pages 55 to 59, you'll see here that there's a little checklist here that says family. We go to the next page, and you see that there's a checklist here that says 9th and 10th grade, 11th grade, and then there is one for 12th grade. So it gives you, step by step of what you need to do to get ready for next year. So we're going to talk about some of this stuff as we go through. But if you're that person that kind of wants to get this stuff ahead of time and look through, This book is very, very good. They need to pay me because I'm always promoting this book, but that's a whole nother story. Okay. These are the dates that we will be meeting. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8 dates. And then in June, we'll have something called the College Application Crash Course in the afternoon for your parents to go over a little bit of review and then maybe some other stuff that we don't know. So I'm trying to give you guys stuff in little chunks. I'm also going to have some guest speakers to come in. These are going to be very interactive. Today is not as interactive because we got to rush and get through it. But I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable knowing some things about what you're doing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most students that I have conversation with do the opposite of what I say. And then they're all stressed out in here because if you start little bits at a time, ahead of time, I promise you, you will not walk around here stressed out like some of the seniors are now. And I'm going to tell you the number one thing that is going to stress you out is not the SAT. It's your essay. So if you can start working on that essay between now and August, and then when you come back to school, just get your teachers to edit them for you. That right there, if you get your essay done, you're going to be straight. Because everybody procrastinates and they do everything else but the essay. And then November rolls around, December rolls around, January rolls around, and people still are not done. Okay, so we can help you out with that. So again, that paper that's going around to you guys, if you can, again, if you haven't filled it out yet, your name is on there. Just put down the best period for me to call you down in your teacher's name. That way I'll put you in the Google invite and it'll already be on your calendar. You won't forget what dates we have this meeting because you're only going to get the reminder like the day before. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far? Because I'm almost finished. Anai, do you have any questions? She's on Google. Okay. All right. So you guys want to make sure, if you have not done so already, to connect with your assigned counselor because they're going to be the primary person that's going to be sending out these things for you, your transcripts, letters of recommendations. They can't write anything about you if they don't know you, right? And so you want to make sure that you, if you have not met with them this year, to start really getting to know them and start defining what it is that you want to do. Because we don't want you wasting a lot of time after graduation because you could have done something else. Or some people may go to a 4-year college and then go there for a year or two and decide that that's not for them, that they only went there because somebody told them that they had to go or told them that they were going to be a bum if they didn't go to college. And remember what we said earlier in the conversation. What is going to make you successful is the skills that you have and whatever education you get for yourself after graduation. You guys know plenty of people who are entrepreneurs that started their own businesses and they're very successful. Some people who have gotten 2-year degrees, 1-year degrees that are very successful because they are great at what they do. But you want to make sure that what you're deciding to do and what your skill set matches so that you won't waste money and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys. I had some more stuff, but I had to condense it quickly. So what questions do you guys have? Any questions? No right or wrong answer. Or no right or wrong question. Or no wrong question.
What's the essay for?
The essay? That's a good question because I didn't say what it was for, did I? See, that's what I'm talking about. So you're going to have a lot of your applications are going to ask you for essays. Now, when I was in school, they asked you for a personal statement to write something about yourself. But now different applications will ask you for a personal statement. They may ask you for they may have something called supplemental questions where they're asking you little short statements that might be 100 words or 250 words about certain topics. So I'm actually going to be talking to your English teachers next week to find out what we can do to incorporate the essay as part of your assignment in class, because the seniors, they just started doing that for the seniors this year, and the students who were in English this year, they did their personal statements and it made them feel so much more confident in what they were doing. So even if you're applying for a school and the essay is optional, as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as optional, because remember, we talked about test optional, right? So if you're not taking the SAT, if you're not submitting your score, that's one less thing that they can evaluate you on. So they're going to look at your essay and your letters of recommendation. And before I forget, because I forgot to tell you this, when you guys go ahead and sign up for the SAT or the ACT, they're going to give you a space to put down schools that you want to send your scores to. Do not send your scores anywhere. Don't do it beforehand. When you get in there and take the test, don't write anything down. Because you guys have a fee waiver, you will be able to send your scores whenever you want to, and you can send them to as many schools as you want to. You may have some older siblings, cousins, friends, or whoever. Girl, you got 4 weeks. That's not true. That's not true if you have a fee waiver. Okay. I don't want you to send your scores out because some of you guys have really amazing grade point averages. And if you don't test well, that can eliminate you. Whereas if you would have just sent your application in with no scores, your grade point average, and maybe you have a lot of extracurricular activities that show who you are as a person, maybe you have some really good letters that are going to highlight things about you. So do not send your scores, and we will not put them on your transcripts either. It's actually, after this year, we're never putting your scores on your transcripts again. So you'll be able to send them from the SAT and the ACT, and we can show you how to do that. But don't send your scores to any schools. And then when you decide if you want to send scores, check in with us before you send them. And we'll have another conversation about that. Okay, so did I answer your question? Also, you may need essays for your scholarship applications, but in most cases, the scholarship applications are going to ask you the same kind of questions that you have already written an essay for, and you can tweak those things. Okay? Anybody else? I know it's the end of the day. Y'all some troopers. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Again, make sure if you didn't fill out that form, I know I said it 80 times, but it's always somebody who forgot to do it. I thank you guys for coming. And I hope to see some of you guys here tomorrow for the SAT, ACT sign up. All right.
Is it going to be in here? Or is
It is going to be in here. And in most cases, your group is going to get bigger, and in most cases we're probably going to end up going up to the audience. So just make sure for the next meeting you pay attention to where the location is going to be. Okay, I'll try to keep it in here, but if there's too many people, it's going upstairs. All right, well, thank you guys.